Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Right, we are live. I can see people coming through. Housekeeping first and foremost. If you can let me know in the chat box that you can hear me loud and clear and where you're dialing in from. So I can see that we've got 648 people registered. That would be a massive drop in people watching, wouldn't it? Welcome to 2024. So I can see that you're all coming through. If you could just pop that you can hear me loud and clear in the chat box. Morning, Barbara. Barbara's from Australia. We've got Ivy. Ivy, where are you from? Just remind me. We've got Paul, we've got Magnus from Sweden, Paul from Dudley. So we've got my better half dialing in today as well. I'm at home and he's in the office. So I can see that you can all hear me loud and clear. That is housekeeping out of the way. So most of you online, I can see from the attendees already know who I am. But for those of you that are new, and there are a few names that I don't recognise, my name is Hayley Andrews. I am the co-founder of Your Freedom Empire, which is a business and property training organisation. I've been in the industry since 2002. I've done everything from buy-to-lets, HMOs, small, large, factory conversions, commercial. I own a commercial and residential property portfolio. I do development, I do commercial to residential, I've done lease options, I've done rent to rent, and I've done everything creative and everything else in between. So I own an estate and lettings agency, and of course we deal with internationals and UK people as well, looking to invest in the UK property industry, and that's through Your Freedom Empire. So we do offer mentorship programs, supports, webinars, support studios, networking, and of course your masterminds and your on-demand training as well, which is all done online, and then your mentorships, of course, face-to-face. So that's just a little bit about me. I am, of course, as well, one of the angels on the hit Sky TV programme Property Elevator. I'll be talking to you about that a little bit later on as well. So today, what we're going to be doing, well, first of all, I should say, we are in episode 69. So we started out just for the updates through COVID. So for the first ever lockdown. So we've been going for a good few years now. We're in episode 69, a great number to welcome January. And of course, we are in a new year. So before I get started and jump into today's content, Happy New Year to everyone. I hope that you had a wonderful Christmas and a New Year celebrations as well. Many of you have already WhatsApped me Happy New Year. So thank you so much for that. It was an absolute pleasure. And it's one of my favourite times to see all over the world, different people messaging me at different times as well, which is quite surreal sometimes with your Happy New Year messages. But I hope you're all in good health and ready for January and ready for 2024. So today's session, or this month really, is going to be about goal setting. Of course, naturally, it is January. We all make our New Year's resolutions. We all sit down and make our goals for the year. But this session's really about making sure that you're in the right mindset, that you're setting goals that are achievable for yourself in your current situation and circumstances, but also the motivation behind it, and why we do what we do and how we can hold ourselves accountable and make sure that we are moving forward and we are reaching the goals that we are setting for ourselves. As many of us get super excited around January, and the last day of December, we're writing down all of our goals for the year. And I don't know about you, but I absolutely smash them every single time. But January 24 has been a bit different for me, and I've really had to work hard on the goals this year, and think about what I want to do in the future. So I thought I would dedicate this session to those of you that are perhaps struggling and need a bit of help and motivation. So that's where we're going to be at today. So without further ado, I have got a quote here for you. God knows who actually put it out there, but so I can't claim it as my own. I did actually read this somewhere. So the quote is, if you don't design your own life plan, chances are you'll fall into someone else's. So this session is really about holding yourself accountable, setting those goals, setting sizable goals that are achievable for you and your journey realistically, and also making it happen. So holding yourself accountable and the little things that we can do every day to make it happen. That's what we're all about. That's my tagline. So let's make it happen and kick off January 2024 with a bang. Right, so I'm going to jump off camera and I'm going to jump into today's session. If you do have any questions in the chat box, do let me know. It is interactive. All messages are private as well, so you don't have to worry about any of the other viewers reading your questions or messages to me. So all messages are private, and we will address them, but I'll keep it private as well, as in not actually say who's asking the questions or anything like that. We're very relaxed, and for those of you that are watching online as well, and also on YouTube later on, then you can actually pop your questions in the chat box on our YouTube channel, and I will answer them for you also. So today's session, as I said, is all about making sure that we're holding ourselves accountable, setting those goals, and designing our own life plan. So we're going to do that year by year, but we're going to look at a few books that can actually help you. And these are books that have helped me over the years, but also books that you have to revisit and make sure that you are actually practicing those sessions, and again, holding yourself accountable, reminding yourself and keeping yourself in that positive mindset as well. So today's session is going to be called Read to Grow, because those that read definitely do grow, but act to succeed. So this is today's session. We're going to start off with some books that can actually help you, and some websites so that you can get yourself in the right mindset and setting those goals, moving forward and smashing 2024. Still feels weird saying that. I'll get used to it, I'm sure. Right, so the first book that we have on our list, and feel free to take notes. This, of course, will be sent to all of you. It will be on your education hub for those of you that are already part of Your Freedom Empire. But of course, it will be on the YouTube channel as well, so you can refer back to it. I'll make sure that when the video is uploaded to YouTube, for those of you watching on YouTube, that the links to or the names of the books and the links and websites that are actually recorded through there as well. So super relaxed today, but really about getting ourselves in the right mindset to smash 2024. So the first book is The 5 Second Rules. So this is by Mel Robbins. If you have read this book, please pop your opinion in the chat box and let me know your thoughts. These are really my selection on moving yourself forward, holding yourself accountable, and all things success for 2024. So this book really introduces a technique to overcome hesitation and acting promptly, which is very apt and, of course, something that a lot of people struggle with. So this is why the 5 second rule is very much my number one on my book list for you guys to read this year. So it's the book introduces a simple yet powerful tool to combat hesitation and procrastination, and we've all been there, so it doesn't matter how positive, how much you hold yourself accountable, how driven you are, we'll all experience moments of procrastination and hesitation, and this book is really about combating that and moving yourself forward. So Robbins really explains how counting down from 5 seconds can empower you to act, change habits, and boost your productivity. So there is a website that you can visit for this book. It's actually melrobbins.com, so it is dedicated around the book. But the reason I've put this website in here is because the website does offer additional resources, videos and articles that can really enhance the application of the teachings in the book. So 5 Second Rule is our first book, so hopefully you've written that down. No one's read it yet, so that's good, I guess. Well, it's either good or it's not one of the top readings of 2024 and our entrepreneurial following, but definitely a book you should read. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So the other book is The Magic of Thinking Big. This book really encourages setting high goals and positive thinking for success. The book encourages readers to set lofty goals and develop self-belief. So the book offers practical advice on overcoming fear and fear of failure, and of course harnessing positive thinking to achieve success in your own right. There is a very useful website that you can go to with all of these teachings, and it's called mindtools.com. Mind Tools provides a range of resources on personal development and goal setting. So very, very useful for you sitting down and making your plans for 2024. But another great book. Sema is saying that she loved the 5 Second Rule book, yeah, that's great. There are some questions in the chat box which I will address, and I have got loads of different countries that are coming through at the moment, so thank you for letting me know where you are. We are, I always say 18 different countries, but we are actually across more than that now. I really should count them up, but we're across at least 18 throughout the world, and a few more as well. So on number 3, so this one is The One Thing. Again, let us know if you've read any of these books that we're going through, and give us your thoughts on the books as well, and how they've helped you, or whether if they did help you. So it's all very useful. So The One Thing is Gary Keller and Jay Passan. So this book really focuses on productivity through concentrating on one goal at a time. So this idea of multitasking, of course, especially for us women thinking that we can do that, this book really focuses on, really emphasizes the importance of focusing on one single goal at a time. So it guides the readers on reducing multitasking, simplifying tasks as well, which can, of course, help us, and enhancing productivity through dedicated attention. So very, very useful, especially if you have a mind like mine where you are always thinking about the next thing, and you really, this is a great book for you to focus on that one thing. No pun intended. So there is a website here, and the website is theonething.com. This website offers tools, resources, and also podcasts for implementing the principle of the book. So very, very good website for you to jump on if you are a little bit like me, thinking of everything and always wanting to make the next move, but really needing to focus on that one thing so that you can do that well and to the best of your ability, and then move on to the next thing. But yes, very, very, very good book. Again, if you've read it, please do let me know in the chat box. Or if you do struggle with that, I know that women are well known for being able to multitask, but the book actually debunks that theory and says that nobody should multitask, and you should actually focus on one thing at a time. And the success rate will be a lot higher for you if you take that approach. So Barbara's saying she hasn't read it, The One Thing, but I apply this strategy to avoid overwhelm. That's fantastic. That's very much what the book's about, and giving you rules and practices to follow. And yes, it works for me as well. Works for me as well, Barbara. So the motivation code is the next one. So this is Todd Henry and Rod Penner. So this book really focuses on, of course, motivation, but it explores individual motivators and their application in work and leadership. So the book really challenges the one-size-fits-all approach to motivation, suggesting that motivation varies per individual, which of course it does. It explores common motivators and how to harness them for effective work and team leadership. So very, very good book. Of course, we are all individuals. Different things motivate us. We get motivated in different ways. We have different times of the year where we're more motivated than others, so we have to apply different strategies to keep ourselves accountable, to keep moving forward, and to stay motivated. You're not just a motivated person. There always has to be a reason behind that, and of course this book is really about breaking that code, understanding yourself, also other people around you, and keeping yourself motivated and again motivated and moving forward. So very much the theme of today. So toddhenry.com is the website where you can go to have a look. There are podcasts on there and other articles about creativity, productivity, and of course leadership as well. So the next book is The Motivation Myth. So I really like this book. So this is Jeff Hayden. So this book really debunks motivation myths, proposing it's a result of an actionable process. And so Hayden really debunks myths about motivation, proposing that it's a result of actionable processes rather than an innate trait, which seems a little bit hypocritical that I liked the book before, but they do go very well hand in hand, and I think definitely a good read, The Motivation Myth as well. So the book provides practical advice on building momentum and forming success and successful habits as well. So it reminds me a little bit of the compound effect. So the little things that we do every single day that make a difference, not only in our personal life, but in our success and our business, our relationships, and everything else in between. So it's all even down to fitness. So you can apply these to any business, to any part of your life. And it's really about how to be a high achiever and set yourself up to win, basically. So a very, very good book, and really about small habits and momentum and compound over time, making a huge difference in your life. So there is a website as well. The website is thelifehack.org. So this offers tips and insights on productivity and, of course, motivation as well, as motivation is very much the theme of today. And then the other book is Why Do We Do What We Do? So think about that for a moment. So the book really delves into self-motivation, psychology, and overcoming destructive behaviors. So the book delves into the psychology of self-motivation, urging readers to examine and overcome destructive behavior by understanding underlying motivations and social influences. Absolute fantastic book. Definitely a must read. So the website that you can go to, which has some resources for understanding psychology behind motivation and of course behavior as well, which will always help you to understand this. Definitely one of the books that you should be reading all of them if you haven't read them already. I rate every single one of these books, but it really depends on you as an individual, what you're struggling with, what you need help with, and which one you feel would be most beneficial to you, or read them all. So this book really delves into self-motivation and the psychology around that, but also influences outside of yourself, so your social circles, family, friends, networks, and the impact that has on you. So yes, definitely a great book. Pop along to that website as well, because that of course is very, very useful information just on the theory behind motivation and behavioral traits as well. So the next book is The Psychology of Success. So it's called Mindset, and it's all about the psychology of success. So this book introduces mindset and impacts on motivation and success. The book introduces the concept of growth mindset, exploring how beliefs about one's abilities impact motivation and success, and advocating for the adoption of mindset focused on growth and improvement. So a very good website is Edutopia. I'm going to spell that. So edutopia.org. So this explores the growth mindset in educational and personal development content. So very, very good book indeed. I'm just checking the chat box. If you've read any of these books, please do let me know. By the looks of it, it's Zemar and Barbara that are doing all of the reading. So you need to get your heads in the books. Right, so the next book we're looking at is Start With Why, and it's really about understanding why. What is your why? Why are you doing what you're doing? And whether that is in property, business, around your health, whether it's to do with family, it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter whether your why is about buying a Ferrari or having a yacht. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks about your why either. It's all about you. It doesn't have to be publicized. You don't have to talk about it. You just have to know what it is. So this book really emphasizes understanding why behind actions and goals, or your why behind your actions and goals. So it's based on the popular TED Talk. This book emphasizes the importance of understanding the why behind actions and goals. It provides a framework for inspiring others through clear, purpose-driven communication. So fantastic book. The website is very good as well. So go to simonsinek.com and that will provide more information on concepts and methods around the book. So very, very useful. And then we have the Progress Principle. So again, another very good book. They're all very good, and they're not necessarily in order either. I'm not saying, the Progress Principle is less valuable than your why. It's really about you and what you're focusing on at the moment, what perhaps you're struggling with, what you feel would help you most. All of them are very, very useful books, and it really depends on you as an individual which one will be most beneficial to you. If you have the opportunity to read all of them, fantastic. I guarantee you will be a better person moving into 2025 and have smashed your goals as well. So this book then, The Progress Principle, that's a mouthful on a Friday morning, focuses on motivating employees through progress recognition. This book focuses on recognition of progress. It advises managers on creating meaningful work experiences and fostering intrinsic motivation through acknowledgement and support. And so for those of you that have team or employees, this is an excellent book on how you can actually motivate them and support them in the way that you should to get the best out of them. So hbr.org is another great website. This features articles on leadership and employee motivation and relevant to the book's theme. So very, very useful. So definitely worth you taking that down, especially if you are working with teams or employees. So each of these books and its corresponding websites offer unique insights and tools for enhancing motivation, goal setting and personal developments. The websites really are just there to serve as a supplementary resource to deepen the understanding and application of the concepts discussed in each book. And it's a very short overview that I've given you. So I've given you 9 books. So now I'd like you to give me 1. So if you can pop in the chat box a book that you've read, a book that has helped you, a book that you rate, I would absolutely love for you guys to decide on my reading list this year. So if you can give me a book in the chat box, pop it. No one can see it. You don't have to tell me why. I trust you, and I will read it and give you feedback as well. So if you can pop a book in the chat box and let me know what great book you recommend for me to read. Okay. So that's enough of the books then. So the question is, are you motivated to take on 2024 or are you struggling to get started? And it doesn't matter. You know, as I said, we can't always be motivated or at the top of our game. Sometimes we need a little help. I'm just looking at, Think and Grow Rich. I've read that one. Deep Work by Cal Newport. I haven't read that one. That sounds very good. Awesome. Loving these books that are coming through. Opportunity, The Alchemist. Read that one. Didn't get to the end of that one actually. Might pick that one up again. I think it was quite a hard read. I found that one. Maybe I need to give it another fair chance. The Mountain is in You. That's a great suggestion. Make It by Jake Knapp. So thank you so much. I've got a hell of a lot to read. There's loads coming through, by the way. Thank you so much for the book list. I'll make sure that I write all of those down and let you know my thoughts on those books as well. So the question is, are you motivated for 2024, and have you sat down on the 31st of December and wrote down all of your goals for the years and you're ready and raring to go and get started, or are you struggling? So what I've done today is I've looked at how let's face it, most people struggle. Most people can write it down, but then they struggle to get motivated to move forward. So what I've focused on with this next session is really some step-by-steps that Think and Grow Rich, 4-Hour Work Week, fantastic book. Love that one. Read that already. Think and Grow Rich, I've read that one also. Awesome book. So yeah, thank you. Keep the books coming through. Never Split the Difference. Fantastic book, Stephen. Love that one as well. All about negotiation. Fantastic. Eat the Frog. I've seen quite a few people that have put that one on social media. I'm guessing it's similar to Who Moved My Cheese. If you haven't read that one, I can't remember the author of the book. It was a while ago. It's a very short read, but very much about thinking outside of the box, moving forward, finding that angle, and just keep moving forward, basically. And yeah, great book. I'm thinking that Eat the Frog, which it's a great title, isn't it? Sounds very similar. Right, so this is really for those of you that perhaps not necessarily struggling, but step-by-steps to really get yourself in the right mindset and the right position to move forward with 2024 in the best possible way for you. So number 1 is reflect on your why. So I've just mentioned a great book that you can read to help you with that. But reconnect with the reasons behind your goals. Understanding your deeper motivations can reignite your passion and drive. And your why might change as well. So your why when you first started out may be very different now. It's really about you. and what you're looking to move forward with, and why you're doing what you're doing. It's so, so important. And I know that lots of people say, oh, it's corny to talk about your why. It is, you know, or maybe it's not. It doesn't really matter what anyone else thinks. All that matters is that you know that you will do everything you can to achieve that. And the reason you're going through what you're doing is because that why is your drive. So definitely the first thing you should do is write that down and really think about it as well. Visible Elephant, got loads and loads of books coming through. It looks like I might have a 2025 serve book as well, book list to read as well. So the next thing to do is set small achievable goals. Again, the books that I've gone through this morning really help you with that. So start with small manageable goals and small manageable tasks. Achieving these can provide a sense of accomplishment and boost your motivation to tackle larger goals. So this could be absolutely anything at all. So sometimes when we feel like we're not in control, there are things that we can take control of, and the things that we can do. And as I said, little things just to make sure that you're moving forward and you're completing those tasks and you're achieving those goals. So really putting them achievable goals is important. While you don't want to set goals that are too easy to achieve, it's the little goals each day that will really help you move forward as an individual and achieve those bigger goals. So really breaking them down is so, so important, rather than just focusing on the ultimate goal, which is what a lot of people will do, and then get overwhelmed or feel like they're not moving forward, or feel like they're not achieving, moving fast enough, doing enough. So constantly feeling like they're failing is actually detrimental to you, your mindset, and ultimately your overall goals. So setting those small achievable goals is very, very important. Excuse me. If you can hear snotty nose and things like that in the background, that's my son. He's poorly at the moment, so he's sat here with me. It is at home with Hayley, and I am at home with him. So the next thing to do is create a structured plan. So having a clear plan can help focus your efforts. So break down your goals into actionable steps, and set deadlines for each of those goals as well. So it doesn't matter how big or small they are, but making sure that you have a deadline, a date, a time, and it's booked into your diary. You're aware when you should be working on this and how long you should be working on it for, is really, really important. Setting that time aside to achieve those deadlines and giving yourself a fighting chance. So life happens, which is why it's important that you have to book this time with yourself to make sure that you're working on your why and moving forward to that ultimate goal. So setting deadlines for these smaller goals is super important for you to achieve that end goal. Then the next thing to do is establish a routine. Easier said than done, actually, but it is about being consistent in your routine and really creating a habit. So a consistent routine can help you build momentum, of course, but try to incorporate productive habits into your daily life. So again, you are moving forward, you're keeping that momentum, and you're being consistent day in, day out. Then the next point is seek inspiration. So that's what today's book list is about. Really making sure that you're the best person you can be. You've got yourself in the right mindset. yourself how to move forward. You know what motivates you. You know what your why is. You know how to hold yourself accountable, set small, manageable goals. All of the books that I've spoken to you about today, that is what this is all about. But seeking inspiration by reading books, listening to podcasts, watching videos that motivate you and inspire you, learning from others who have overcome challenges that you may be facing, can really uplift you, again, give you that belief, give you that confidence that you're able to move forward, and other people have overcome these challenges, so will you, and you'll keep moving forward with that motivation. And of course, the inspiration of other people that are doing what you want to do is very much what you should be seeking. You are who your network is, your net worth. You need to be around people that inspire you. You need to be around people that are doing what you want to do, behaving how you want to behave, have the lifestyle that you want. That's very much what it's all about. Being around the right people purely for that inspiration, so that you can aspire to be what they are, or better, or definitely better. And then focus on self-care. So often a lack of motivation can be linked to burnout and stress, which all of us have experienced in our life. I feel a little bit burnt out at the moment coming into 2024. But you have to make sure that you're taking care of you mentally and physically. You are the most important person in this entire cog. And without you, at your best, everything else around you will struggle. So you have to make sure that you're taking care of you. Change your environment. So sometimes just changing the scenery can boost your mood, your productivity. Consider working from a new location, recognizing your current workspace. Excuse me. So just thinking about, well, what's your environment like? Do you need to be in a different place by moving, working from the coffee shop, or going into the office, or staying at home, or whatever you would like to do? But moving and changing your environment sometimes can be very, very useful. Boost your mood, boost your productivity, and again, help you move forward. Something as simple as that. I know that I do this quite a lot, especially when I'm negotiating as well. Or I'm taking a call that I'm quite nervous about, or I know that there's going to be a challenge that I'm facing. I will quite often take a call in a different place. If I'm sitting down, I'll then stand up or go and have a walk around the garden, or move to a different office. So I quite often do this so that I can be the most productive I possibly can be. But really, I think it's down to the boost mood, the confidence, the change in scenery really helps you sometimes, or it helps me anyway. So definitely worth trying that. Limit distractions. So identify what's distracting you and take steps to minimize these distractions. So this could involve a digital detox, so coming off your social media, or setting specific times for checking your emails. You can even put that on your email signature, so you can state that you check emails at 10 and 4, and you don't look at your phone or emails in between those times. So again, focusing on that one thing. So the book that we spoke about, the one thing earlier, this is really what it's about. So limiting the distractions around you, really focusing on what you are focusing on in that moment in time, and setting times and limiting your distractions, setting times for specific tasks that would usually take you away from what you are doing. And then connect with supportive people. So surround yourself with people who encourage you, support you, who share your goals, and they're in the same industry as you, or they're in business. But sharing your goals with friends and family can sometimes help. It depends, I guess, on who your friends and family are. But getting yourself a mentor can provide accountability and motivation, but really about the network and the circle that you're in. Making sure that they're supportive, positive, and you really getting the most out of them, and you feel nourished when you're in their company. You feel excited, you feel positive, you feel like you could conquer the world. Those are the people that you want to be around. I know there's lots of networks that I won't attend, and the reason I don't is because the company within those networks is negative, moaning constantly. Instead of being problem solving, they're problem focusing, very much victim mindset type of networks. And I'll attend one or two and then and realize that very quickly and never attend again. The network you want to be around are the people that excite you, the people that give you energy, the people that you want to achieve what they've achieved, people that are happy for your success instead of jealous and negative. So really making sure that you're connecting with people that are supportive, and that starts with of course your family and friends, but also your wider family and your property friends and your business friends as well. And then celebrate small wins. So I'm awful at this. So this is why I'm reminding myself of this as well. I don't think that I'm very good at celebrating the success. I very much, complete a goal and move on to the next one. I smash this, I smash that, and I'm very good at doing, but not very good at celebrating. In fact, before I've even finished, and there isn't time to celebrate because I've moved on to the next thing, and I'm already focused on making that happen. And so this is my advice to you. You do need to celebrate those wins, really recognize and celebrate the progress that you've achieved, no matter how small. So it really doesn't matter, and don't measure your success by other people either. So this can really help build a positive momentum for you and help you move forward. I think I'm losing my voice. Keep sipping water. Right. So visualize success. So for those of you, most of you that I've mentored will know this. So visualizing success, and I very much talk about visualization and manifestation and law of attraction, all of that, affirmations, and I'm a massive believer of all of that. You receive what you put out, and you can visualize your way to success. And it's always worked for me. I do this all the time in both my personal life and my businesses as well. So really making sure that you are understanding what success is for you. Make sure that you spend some time visualizing and you achieving your goals. So you can do this in the morning when you get up with your coffee. You can meditate, do your affirmations and do your visualization, and really make it a mental rehearsal, because it can really boost your confidence and motivation as well. And learn from setbacks. So instead of getting discouraged by setbacks, view them as a learning opportunity. And I can see most of you that are online that I know do that anyway. And that's amazing, and that is exactly what you should be doing. And it's all about mindset, isn't it? And it's all about, well, how do we view it? And what's our reflection of the situation, and what went wrong, and how can we not make that mistake moving forward, and learn from any setbacks that you may have. So really making sure that you remember that. So everyone makes mistakes. You don't need to beat yourself up about it. And what you do need to do is make sure that you are learning from those setbacks, so that the next time you don't make that mistake, or you can prevent someone else from making that mistake as well. Really pay it forward and move forward. Stay flexible. So I'm quite good at this. I actually I'm quite flexible in my strategies and goals. I have my main big goal, and I'll set smaller goals, but I'll be flexible in how I achieve them, although there'll be deadlines. So I mean, the route or the road that you take really is about staying flexible. So not necessarily saying, well, I said I was going to do that this year, but I'll do it next year instead. That's not flexibility. That's procrastinating and not moving forward. So it's about being flexible in the way of adjusting the goals to suit you and the strategies that you need to achieve those goals. So it may be that you have a desired figure and you've been focusing on one specific strategy, but you actually could achieve that goal by approaching in a different way and still get to where you need to be and hit that deadline. And so it's just about being resilience. It is a word, but resilient is the word I'm looking for. So in the face of challenges, really thinking about, well, what's the next way round? So every challenge that you will come up against, you can overcome. And it's about, how do we overcome that challenge? What strategy could work? How can we move forward? So really not focusing on the challenge, but focusing on moving forward, being resilient to that, and flexible in adjusting your goals and strategies as needed. Practice gratitude. So this again will boost your motivation. So regularly acknowledging what you're grateful for can really shift your mindset to improve your motivation. So say thank you for everything that you're grateful for every day. I've still got loads of books coming through. Let's hope that. How many have we got on? So we've got 649 people on. I hope that every single one of you don't send me a book, because that's gonna take some reading. Right, okay. So seek professional help. So if you lack motivation, then and you feel it's affecting your quality of life, then why not consider professional help, such as a counsellor or a therapist? Or it's quite common now for successful individuals to actually have a coach to push them, so a performance coach. So there are professionals out there. If you are struggling and it really depends on you as an individual, then maybe you do need help. And the first step there is actually admitting that, and then moving forward, taking action, taking that counselling, or getting a therapist or a motivational coach, or someone that can help you move forward. I know lots of people. So if you are struggling, again, the chats are private. I wouldn't call this out. But if you would like me to put you in contact with people that can help you from a mindset point of view and help you move forward and overcome your kind of persistent behavior that you feel is affecting your quality of life or business, then please do let me know and I can put you in contact with them. And remember, it's okay to have ups and downs. The key here and every other day is to keep moving forward. even if that's just one step. And so it's not about a marathon. It's not about a race. It's not about who gets there first. Sometimes this business, as any other, can feel like 1 step, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, but that's still 1 step forward. So recognize that and understand that you are moving forward. And sometimes a setback can be just catapulting you to success. So always keep moving forward. Don't put yourself down. It's very much about the end goal, and you just holding yourself accountable. So that's today's session. I do have a very, very small market update for you. Let me just grab it up here. So January 2024. Still can't believe we're in January. Where did 2023 go? So lower asking prices and cheaper mortgage deals are kicking off the new year property market with a bang. So property experts say this. So a home loan price war broke out within 48 hours of 2024 as lenders battled for customers. You're probably hearing this everywhere. There are some of the lowest interest rates since the spike in the base rate last summer, with some rates in the high 3s and low 4s. Definitely good news for those looking to refinance. What I have noticed, though, is just be mindful of the loan to value as well, and any add-ons or arrangement fees and things like that, because they are slightly higher. So you do need to be mindful of that. Sometimes the headline interest rate is backloaded with arrangement fees and etc. So just be aware of that. And I've also noticed that the loan to values have dropped slightly as well. So you are looking, on average, and there are still some at the higher 75%, but you are looking around 60 to 65% LTV. So sellers are pricing their properties to sell with an average of around 8,500 cut from their values. Boxing Day is, so that's the day after Christmas. It's usually the most searched day for properties through online portals such as Rightmove, Zoopla, etc. And this Boxing Day was no different. So it was still extremely busy and still smashing last year's figures. And buyers are definitely entering the marketplace this time of the year. Hence, the demand will naturally grow. So in my opinion, those drops are not likely to last long as interest rates start to, as interest, of course, starts to surge again, and lenders get cheaper. So on the cash front, so cash buyers make up 1/3 of house sales, new research shows. So those using cash to buy property are on track to account for around 32% of sales. So this percentage just keeps growing year on year and has risen massively since 2017. When lending is more expensive, the cash from under the mattress starts coming to play. So that's quite common. Although with lenders battling out to win business and mortgage interest rates falling, and of course the Bank of England's Monetary Policy Committee being set to cut rates 6 times in 2024, taking them from a 15-year high of 5.25% today to 3.75% by next Christmas. We'll see about that. I personally think that they'll stay slightly higher than that for longer and then come down, but we will see. But in the event that that does happen, and we do see 6 rate cuts in 2024, we will see more people lending and cash purchases to fall off again, and that percentage to lower. So that's all we have time for on that front. I am just going to move in quickly to some of the events that we have on, and then I'll love you and leave you for today. I will quickly go through it. There is loads in the chat box, so I'll apologise in advance if I don't get to it in time before the end of our session, but I will actually email you back. So we have Property Elevator Live Conference. This is a one-day conference. It's content. It is keynote speeches from the likes of Nicholas Warwork. You've got Roma Finance there, Scott Marshall, who is the show's sponsor. You've got the wonderful John Howard. You've, of course, got me. You've got Ranjan Barachari, which is Succeeding Property. And you have Paul Mahoney, who is a phenomenal businessman. And is, of course, the founder of Nova Finance, which is one of the UK leading property advisory companies. So very, very useful panel. Of course, we are all on Property Elevator, but this is a great day for you to understand and discuss, of course, the buyer's market, returns, how politics, property and pitching can scale your property business in 2024. So if you would like to attend, the event is on the 27th. So if you're looking at an early bird ticket, that is £147. You can scan the QR code and book your tickets. If you would like to be a VIP, so the VIP is on the 26th of January. So on the Friday, the night before, we will all go out for dinner. There'll be open question and answers, kind of like speed dating the angels, which I'm sure will be very, very fun. But you do also get front row seats and all video recordings of the day as well. So if you would like to attend that session, please scan the QR code on screen now, or pop along to propertyelevator.tv, where you can have a look at what the day is all about, and you can purchase your tickets through there. If you do have any questions, please feel free to pop us an email. There is a contact us button on the website also, or you can reach out to admin@yourfreedomempire.co.uk and we'll get back to you. And then, of course, we have Series 7 coming out. Not coming out soon. We're actually, Series 6 is out. So for those of you that haven't watched Series 6, I've actually noticed that my YouTube views over Christmas has dropped. So you need to get my YouTube viewers back up. But the entire Series 6 is actually out now on Your Freedom Empire's YouTube channel. So if you would like to watch the show was over on Sky TV. And it's kind of like the Dragon's Den for property developers and investors, where you pitch your deals to the panel of angels and they ask you questions and then decide if they're going to invest in the deal or not. So it's a very, very good show, very, very useful, very informative and entertainment. I absolutely love being part of the show, and we are super excited to be recording Series 7 in February. Keep your ears to the ground and keep your eyes peeled. Series 7 will be coming out in the summer for you to enjoy. But I'm sure it will be an awesome show again, and I'm very much looking forward to being back in the studio and recording Series 7 with the guys. And then, of course, we have our Property Success Convention. So this is a free event. It is live in-person event. It's not live in person, it's live, but it is virtual. So that's a bit misleading there, isn't it? So it's a virtual event, but it is live. So it is jam-packed, content-filled day, learning all things about property, strategy, UK property market, structure, finance, lending, tax. So we do talk about everything, and we brush over every single strategy. You can walk away from this one-day event with enough knowledge to go out there and start sourcing property yourself, so that you can raise finance to pay for hopefully a mentorship program and come back through us. So it's a very, very jam-packed full day of content, and very, very useful for those looking to get into property property, for those wanting to refresh, or for those that want to learn creative strategies, or just look at all of the different strategies. So you may actually be active in development and doing development, but never really understand HMOs, serviced accommodation, or commercial. So it's really about understanding the fundamentals of each individual strategy, questions to ask around that, due diligence and research around that, to how to stack the deal, how to structure those types of deals as well from a lending point of view, how to exit those deals, and everything else in between. So very, very useful day. If you haven't attended already, please get on to the next session. You will not be disappointed. Definitely bring an extra pair of socks, because we will be knocking those socks off. So you can secure your spot by scanning the QR code on screen now, or you can pop along to Your Freedom Empire's website and book your free slot there. I've just realised I've been off camera this entire time. The other thing I'd like to talk to you about is, of course, these free consultation calls. So I have a few today that people have booked in through our website, and of course through watching our YouTube channel, or being live. So if you would like a session with me or one of the other YFE mentors, and you would like a free consultation call, it is 30 minutes, and it's really to discuss, of course, if or how we can help you, and discuss your current situation, what you're up to, what your challenges are, and how we can help you move forward. So if you would like to book a call, please, I'm saying please an awful lot today, I'm very polite. You can book a call by scanning the QR code on screen now, or pop along to our website. The books are still coming through, by the way. So I'm going to quickly have a look to see if I can see any, if I can see the questions inside the books. Lots of people telling me what books to read and how they've helped them. Thank you so much. I will make sure that I take a note of all of these books. Lots of people saying that the webinar was really great. Thank you so much for today. A random one, elephant. I'm not sure. Is that a book? If you can let me know if that's a book or if it's a elephant. I'm not sure. What does the elephant stand for? What does it mean? Right. Okay. So I'm going to say I can't see. I can't see any questions in the chat box. There's so many. There's hundreds of books that I'm going to have to go through and make a list of. But I'm going to say thank you so much for today. Thank you for dialing in, as always. Hopefully you found today's session useful, and they will help you move forward with your investment journey, personal goals, lifestyle. Remember, we are creating a life that we design, and only we can make it happen. So we have to make sure that we're in the right mindset, we're healthy emotionally and physically, and we're moving our business forward and being the phenomenal people that we were born to be. Only you can make that happen. So make sure you hold yourself accountable. 2024 is going to be a great year. Go out there and smash it. But until next month, I'm going to say have a wonderful Friday. A very, very happy new year to all of you, and goodbye for now. Goodbye.